Hey, Marnie Swedberg here with womenspeakers.com. Excited to have Anntricia Bray joining us from Hugo, Oklahoma. Welcome to you, Anntricia.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hi. You bet. We got a little delay going on here, but
Oh,
hopefully we'll be
yeah.
able to keep going. Oh, great. Well, you are the author of Creating a Better Me, which is a book about, well, tell us what it's about.
Recreating a Better Me is a book about redefining who we are as women, as Christian women, as parents, as professionals. It just encompasses the whole life of a woman, uh, recreating who she was born and created to purposefully be
Wow.
outside we have been conditioned to be through our environment and life traumas and situations.
And even some of the lies we've believed about who we are versus who God says we are.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Well, I'm going to pick your brain a little bit here. So, first of all, you teach about how to think about money. So, maybe give us a couple thoughts about that, how we can think differently about money.
Oh, how we think differently about that is one of the lessons that in a life of poverty, we miss that lesson, especially here in Southeast Oklahoma. We're here in the poorest counties, three of the poorest counties here. We miss that lesson. We have no financial education, no financial background. It's all about get an education, go to school, get a job. Well, there's more to financial literacy than just get a job, because we got to know how to manage that money that we have. So I had to teach myself to respect my money. There's no reason that we should live from paycheck to paycheck and struggle to try to make it. So if we don't know money and have a relationship with money, or a healthy relationship with money, then it tends to just slip through our fingers. And so it's about learning to respect that money, learning how to manage it well, and making sure that you're putting it to good use so that it benefits not only you now, but your legacy for years to come.
I love that. I love that. I think that respect piece is so important, where it isn't something that we are angry at or that we're frustrated about, but rather that we're grateful for, and that we have a great respect for how we get it, as well as how we spend it, how we invest it. Yeah, going forward. That's cool. Another one is how to reconstruct harmful thought patterns.
Harmful thought patterns. Yes, life happens. It happens from the time we're born into this world to the time we leave. So we're conditioned to our environment. And oftentimes those thoughts that we have are negative. And so in order to take those thoughts and recreate them, you have to change your environment. You have to change the way you think about things. And you do that one day at a time by taking back the control.
So what would you say, do most of us recognize where we have thought patterns that are wrong? Or do we need outside help a lot of times with that?
Oftentimes we think we're okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
We think it's our norm. And so if it's our norm, it's okay. And until we expose ourselves to something different, then we're just victim of that environment, of those thoughts that we have. I recognized when I began to make changes in my life that some of the thoughts that I was thinking was not okay.
Yeah.
And I had those thoughts because of my life experiences, but just because they're my experiences and my thoughts don't necessarily make it okay. So I had to be intentional in recreating my mind, putting good things in my mind so that I can produce good thoughts. And oftentimes that's our environment, that's our norm, and we're okay with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we don't recognize it a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah. How about getting comfortable in our own skin?
That comes with changing your thoughts. Because if your thoughts aren't healthy, you're not going to be comfortable and appreciate who you are and who you were created to be. Because oftentimes we know as women of God, we are different. And we recognize that we're different, but we don't understand why we are created different. Why we can't do as our friends, or why we don't fit in a certain group. And so we put pressure on ourselves to conform to the likes of others. But from a child, we're given our identity of who we are from our parents, our community, our family. But oftentimes, the identity that they give us is not benefit who we are becoming as women,
It's
as
not,
professional, as parents.
it's not who God says we are.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, right.
So
Conform to my image.
we have to learn ourselves,
Yeah.
and we have to learn what our purpose is, and take on our own identity, and be okay with whatever we are, be okay with whatever life dealt us, but also being able to overcome those things and those obstacles that are in the way.
Yeah, I always say hold up your thumb, because that 1 inch right there can convict you of a crime in a court of law. That's how unique you are. And when God strung together your 3 billion base pair of DNA, he did it in a particular way. You are so precious to him. There is nobody else like you on planet Earth. And he's looking to you to fully embrace who you are and to be everything he created you to be for his glory. So I love that one so much. The last one is overcome the barriers of mediocrity.
This goes back to what you were saying earlier. Do we recognize that we have harmful thought patterns? And this is why when we don't recognize it's because we've been conditioned to mediocrity. We've been conditioned to blaming, complaining, not being able to make decisions, and all that is mediocrity. We don't have enough confidence within to overcome when a door is closed in our face, or overcome when someone tells us no. But you overcome those barriers by continuing to seek out more options. So if that door closes, doesn't mean that that's the end of the world. You find another door, you find a window to go.
Right. I always pray that God will close the doors he doesn't want me to go through. You know what I mean? Just make it clear to me. Make it clear where you want me to go. Yeah. So what do you say to the woman who says, I just can't be that proud? That just sounds really proud and arrogant to me, to believe I'm all that and to just say I'm going to be who I am, and like that. What do you say to the gal who's really struggling with that? That just doesn't sound humble enough. That doesn't sound like her.
Well, that was probably me. I'm not a proud person, but once you get to know who you are purposed to be in this life, and love on that, you can do it without feeling proud. I mean, oftentimes when we minimize ourselves, we'll esteem another woman. So I encourage them not to esteem anyone else higher than you esteem yourself. It's easier for us to look at someone else and ooh and ah over somebody else, and yet we say harmful things to ourselves. So I just encourage them to focus on within and not the external. Never esteem anyone else higher than yourself, because you matter. Oh
my goodness, you matter so much. God loves you so much, and he created you the way you are because that's who he needed. He needs you on earth doing the work he created you to do, being the woman he created you to be. So I just love that. Love your message and love your heart, Anntricia. And you guys you guys can learn more about Anntricia Bray over at womenspeakers.com in the state of Oklahoma, or at her own website, Anntricia Bray Smith.weebly.com. And her book is called Recreating a Better Me. So you want to check that out. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. And thanks, you guys, for joining us. Just love having you with us as we do these lives, and we'll see you